Good morning. My name is Kenneth, Executive Director at Sardina. Let's see. Aha, slides work. Right, so for today, I want to talk about cost, money, and how does cost tie in with infrastructure, tie in with compute. So now, here's the news, and it's bad news. The era of cheap money is over. Welcome to the time of high cost. And what this means for enterprises is, how are we going to cut cost? Because cost of money has just gone up. Cost of various other things have gone up. So now we see on the right here, cost of equipment has gone up. Why has cost of equipment gone up? Because cost of money has gone up. And cost of money going up impacts on cost of development of new products, impacts on the final cost of equipment, and related to that as well, we have cost of energy that's gone up, cost of utilities that's gone up. The cost of utilities going up has tremendous impact because as cost of utilities go up, cost of living for our staff, for all of our staff, goes up. And when that goes up, our cost of operating business goes up. And therefore, it ties back again to cost of equipment going up. Difficult problem, hey? And related to that, we also see the price of public cloud has gone up by a dramatic 30%. Geez, that's quite a pay rise for public cloud, isn't it? And so what are we going to do about this? How can each of us do something about it? How can each of us live in this era? So for operators, really it's how do we stay up in the market? How do we stay up to date in the market? How do we apply our knowledge more effectively in the market? And how do we expand what we know, expand the application of what we already know? How do we apply it a lot more effectively, a lot more efficiently? And as we go on, with cost rising, invariably, we've got to be looking at simplification and automation. Automation to make it easier, a lot more reliable to run systems, and simplification, make it easier to do the same things. And of course, we also have uncertainties that come along. Complexity of cloud requires a great deal of expertise. It requires deep expertise. And there are also questions around reliability of the systems. And there are questions around, what about data? What about performance risks? Major questions, major worries running through enterprises today. And what we are seeing as an approach to this, and I'm sure this may not necessarily be the only approach, it's to simplify it and simplify infrastructure as a one single, unified, cohesive process, cohesive approach, and tying together infrastructure expertise, cloud platform, proven expertise of our network of partners, and to wrap this up as a one single, all-in-one solution. And what I'd like to introduce you to is the Sardina integrated solution. So here, what we're doing is we're taking pre-built, pre-integrated software and hardware together with our partners and wrapped it up in one single contract. Very simple, a 3 t-shirt size configuration. Now, of course, we can tailor it. Of course, we can adjust it to fit. And what we're seeing is that with this approach of doing things, organizations can save 40% of budget compared to other private cloud implementations. And the time to commission, which is very, very important, is massively reduced. Why so? And how so? Because we get the whole solution configured, deployed, before it arrives at a facility. So this takes the zero to operation process and squish it down to be very, very efficient. And so the approach that we're taking is that we take the best hardware configuration and tailor to an optimal solution, get it deployed, get it wrapped up in a single solution to customers, get going rapidly. So let's talk. I'm sure today there'll be lots of opportunities for all of us to network and to talk about how can we move the industry forward.
Thank you, Ken. A great example of a short speech, Ken, and I really like that. It's not often you leave a conference and you hear people going out saying, it's great, but I wish the speeches were a bit longer, is it really? So well done, Ken. There must be some questions about that. You might want to save them for later. But I've got a question, Ken. So are you finding, when we talk to customers, that these cost pressures are really making a difference to their day-to-day operations? Are they scratching their heads? Are they saying, oh, you know, I've got to find ways to become more efficient, to reduce costs? Is this a regular conversation with the customer base now?
Yeah, certainly. So, I mean, if you look at the cost of cloud, broadly, you can look at the final price tag of a cloud service comprising of a number of key parts, key input parts. And those costs, you can broadly break them down into 2 types of costs: global cost and local cost. So what are global costs? Global costs are, for example, servers, software. These things, they differ, they may vary across the world, but they vary in percentages. Conversely, if we look at local cost, what are local costs? Cost of land, cost of power, cost of labor, cost of materials. Aha! Cost of labor has gone up. Cost of power has gone up. And cost of money has gone up. Therefore, cost of properties have gone up. And welcome to the era of high cost.
It's, you know, from my perspective, on boards and so on, you know, this cost pressure, this constantly trying to drive down costs while drive up revenues is, of course, the main focus. So having solutions to that. And have you able to have you put any numbers on the sort of savings that Fish OS will give you over, say, a consultancy-led solution? Because you know that's an alternative, isn't it? It's made life easier using lots of bodies. I mean, have you got any sort of cost savings figures?
So what we have seen is that compared to so just getting to the point of a system running, with the approach that we're taking, you can easily achieve 40% savings. Now, the more interesting thing is that when you compare in the final fully operated system versus fully operated systems, basically in comparison to public clouds, a figure that some of our customers have seen is as high as 80%. This is shocking. This is bill-to-bill comparison.
May I ask a question?
Yeah, of course. Yes.
First question is if you... Hi, I'm Alex from Syncport.
Hi, Alex.
Yeah, my first question is, so did I get it right? You build the racks and you put it into the private data center of your clients, and they have everything pre-installed and run it then? Kind of?
So from Sardina, we work with our partners to supply either the servers only or the servers and rack and the whole system pre-integrated. And this then runs Sardina Fish OS software. And the whole system goes into a customer facility, or it goes into colo, whichever of the customer's choice.
Who runs and maintains and updates this, let's say, racks? How do I save labor of my people if I don't want to have my system admins then updating it all the time? Are you coming in, or is this box connected to the public internet and you come out from the outside? How is that maintained?
So when it comes to, post installation of a system, there will of course be an operator to run the system on a day-to-day basis. Now, if an enterprise does not want to run the system, that's not a problem. We bring in an operating partner. And that operating partner will run the system for the end customer.
All right, but you don't need public internet access. They walk into the data center and set the security updates every week?
No.
Or how is that done?
No, done remotely.
Okay, so you need to open up to the outside. How do you differentiate then from HP Green Lake system?
Price tag.
Price tag. Okay, thanks.
Good. One more question, gentlemen in the blue shirt.
And the matter about price tag is actually quite interesting. So it's not as dramatic in Europe, but I'll give you a more dramatic example just to illustrate the point. Okay? Now, there is a certain manufacturer manufacturing servers in 3 locations within about 2 to 4 hours flight away from them. The customer is in Asia. The 3 locations are also in Asia. Comparing the customer's price tag on the equipment in the country versus in the US, it's basically doubled. How so? Because within the server vendor themselves, as they pass from one division to the next, remember, you only need 7 parties in between, each charging 10% internal margin for the final price tag to be doubled. Yeah? You only need 7 parties, each charging 10%. And this is while the servers are actually manufactured about 2 hours flight away.
So let's pick this one up at the coffee break. That's one more question. Just one. I'm going to just have one more question, and otherwise, I know it's Ken's conference, but we've got to move on. So, please.
Hi, Ken. Welcome to Frankfurt. My name is Mehdi. I'm head of cloud computing, private cloud. So
Mehdi, hello.
Yeah, it's my favorite event today. I'm also working with open hardware, so it's what exactly I would like to have today. My question is about day 2 cost of environment. Till now, you covered day 1, how much we need to invest to build the environment and cloud environment. What about day 2? Operation, maintenance, change, and these other important costs for us.
Sure. So, day 2 cost, this is what I refer to as the cost of living with a system. So, to live with a system, you need a set of tools. Otherwise, life would literally be hell. And so you need the tools pre-integrated to make your life simpler. You need the tools already there. You do no extra work to get it running. Otherwise, costs will go up. And ideally, you do not want a consultant being paid on a time and material basis to integrate the tools for you, because costs will go up. Yeah? And this is what we advocate that customers do. Bring in a pre-built solution. This is not a time when everybody should go and figure out how on earth do I integrate a log management system to the rest of my system. How on earth do I do monitoring in my environment? These should be solved problems. This should be out of the box, pre-built, pre-canned solutions.
We'll follow that up also at the coffee break or later. Ken will be on one of the panels later on, so you'll have the chance to talk to him then. But let's give Ken a round of applause and move on.